Ketubot Paragimel Mishnah Dalit, fourth Mishnah in the third chapter of Ketubot. So until now we've been talking about ones, and now ones rape, and now we're going to talk about mefateh. Mefateh is not rape; it's seduction. It's intercourse with a young girl with her consent. So now it's impossible to ignore the differences in the values of the Tanaim to modern day values. Ones, of course, is today it's not a crime of passion; it's a crime of violence. Mefateh, on the other hand, is not considered criminal or inappropriate. I mean, I guess to a 12-year-old girl, but let's say that a 12-year-old was considered an adult in their times. So seduction of an adult today is considered, I don't know, we wouldn't approve of it in Torah circles, but it's certainly not considered something that's like criminal or has to pay a fine for it. Nonetheless, in the times of the Mishnah, the Na'ara was considered under the jurisdiction of her father, and her father had certain rights, vis-a-vis monetary rights, to marry her off. So the person who seduces her and takes her virginity deprives the father of a certain amount of money. So therefore, and also is considered an injurer of the young woman herself. So let's read it in the Mishnah. Actually, before we do the Mishnah, let's go to the Psukim in the Torah. Mefateh appears in Shemot, Parakaf Aleph. Says the Torah, V'chi yefateh ish bitula asher lo orasa. If a person would be mefateh, seduce a young girl, a betula virgin, who is not orasa, no longer married, and sleeps with her. Mahor yimerenu lo yishar. He must, mahor from mohar, or he must quickly marry her. But, ima en yimaen avia lititalo. If the father says, I'm not going to give you, you seduce my daughter, I'm not going to give you, she's well below her station, but I'm not going to let you marry her. Kesef yishkol kemohar betulot. You must pay. Yishkol, shekel, 50 shekel, kimohar betulot. Very similar that we are going to learn. This it's the same chayim kesef, the 50 kesef, like the dowry of the betulot. We've learned before that this pasuk indicates that there was such a thing as a mohar betulot. It was always understood, mina Torah, that there is an idea of this dowry. And we also learned that this 50 kesef is the same as the 200 zuz that we put in our modern day ketubot. Nonetheless, a man seduces a woman, he has to either marry her, and if her father doesn't want to marry her, then kesef yishkol kemohar betulot. He has to pay the 50 kesef to the father. Let's see it in the Mishnah itself. The Mishnah says, "Hamefateh notein shlosha dvarim ve'ones arba'a." The mefateh, the seducer, has to give 3 things, and the ones, the person who rapes, has to give 4. Hamefateh notein boshet upegam uknas. He has to pay boshet, embarrassment to the girl. She is considered very much a victim in this case. She was seduced, but really she didn't know any better, or what have you. Pagam, she's been damaged, literally, not just physically, but in her value. Uknas, he has to pay a fine. The rapist not only has to pay those things, he has to pay tsar. They caused her pain, as we're going to see. Okay, what is pain? Why pain? You can't compare someone who's raped to someone who is seduced, to someone who is intercourse willingly. That's obviously true. There's no tsar, there's no injurious pain to this woman who's seduced. Why? How do we know? It says from the pasuk, Sharei ne'emar inui b'Torah etzel ones, v'lo ne'emar etzel mefuta. The word inui, affliction, appears in ones. Let's look at the psukim for ones. We learned ki matzei ish narab tula, right? This is the ones we learned in the Mishnah. Why does he have to pay the 50? Tachat asher ina. It says you can't send her away because ina. Inui is affliction. He had caused her pain. He can never send her away. Let's go back to our Mishnah. So, ones has to osif alav ones shenoten tatzar. The ones, the rapist, has to pay for the pain. Ma bein ones lemefateh. So what is the difference between ones and mefateh? The Mishnah is going to list it out. Very interesting. We just learned that there are 3. So what are the difference? Ones noten tatzar, mefateh ino noten tatzar. Okay, the ones, like we just said, I don't know why the Mishnah repeats itself. Interesting. You'd have to say different versions. The ones pays pain. Mefateh doesn't pay. Ha'ones notein miyad, ha'mefateh likeshe yotzi. The ones, the rapist, has to pay right away. Whether he marries her or not, he must marry her, but he still pays the father the 50. The mefateh, if he divorces her, only if he divorces her, likeshe yotzi. He doesn't have to stay married. Let's look at the pasuk. Remember it says, ima en yima'en kesef yishkol. If he's ma'en, if he doesn't want to marry her, then he has to pay. But otherwise, he has to marry her, and he puts that 50 kesef in the ketubah. Back to the Mishnah. Mefateh im ratzah lotzi motzi. The ones, he has to drink. Atzitz is a flowering pot. He drinks from his atzitz, from his pot. The mefateh, the seducer, im ratzah lotzi motzi, he can divorce her. Meaning, shoteh ba'atzitzo, nobody drinks out of a flowering pot. B'chli ma'us shebacharbo, he has to drink from, even if it's a kli ma'us, a disgusting vessel. Klomar al korcha yise'ena. He has to marry her even against his will. And we're going to see in the next Mishnah, what does it mean, shoteh ba'atzitza? I'll leave it unexplained. The next Mishnah will explain. The mefateh can marry her if the father, he must marry her if the father agrees. But if it doesn't work out, he can divorce her afterwards. As opposed to the ones, as we see, it says, lo yuchal shalcha kol yamav. He can never divorce her. All of her days, unless she does something to ruin the marriage, he can't divorce her, because he simply doesn't like how she looks, how she acts, etc. Stop here and dedicate a living memory of my father, Arav Simcha Yitzchak Kalman. Have a good day.